Welcome back. In the last video we got the teleporter set up so that you can go on there, it will enable the controls and then you can press the button to be teleported. Very good. This step we're going to set up the next two blueprints that we need to be able to do the rest of the puzzle. So we're going to have it so that you need the battery and that you need the antenna. So this step is going to be all about creating those two blueprints and putting the logic within them so they can be picked up, so that the player has the variables needed to inform the teleporter of whether or not they can install the battery or whether or not they can teleport. So let's get straight into that. Right, the first thing we're actually going to do is go to our character blueprint. We need to make it so that there are some variables on there. So if we go to Blip BPs, let's open him up. We need to know whether or not he needs the battery and whether or not he has the battery. So whether or not he needs the battery is going to trigger whether or not the battery shows us something you can pick up. And then whether or not you have the battery is going to trigger on the teleporter to see whether or not you can install it. So we need to create both of those variables. So we're going to create need battery. And these are going to be Booleans. And we're going to create one called has battery. Like that. And while we're here, we'll do the same for the antenna, which is coming later. So we're going to do need antenna and has antenna. And then we're just going to compile that and save it. As we can see, these are all going to be false by default, which is what we want, because when we start playing the game, we won't know that he needs the battery and he won't have the battery. So that's good. Okay, the next thing we need to do is create the battery blueprint, the thing that can actually be picked up. So I'm going to go into my blueprints folder. And right click, we're going to create a new blueprint class. It's going to be an actor, and I'm going to call it BP_battery. Lovely. Okay, let's add the things that we need. So we're going to start with a static mesh. That's going to be battery. And we will load in the static mesh for the battery, although it's not called battery, is it? It's called barrel. There it is. I think what I'm going to do as well is this is actually a little bit below ground if we drop it. So I'm just going to change into my side view. We'll go left. And you can see that it's dropping below the floor here. So I'm going to move it up. And you can see it won't go exactly right. So let's just turn snapping off for a second and I'll get it close enough. That looks good, and then we'll turn snapping back on. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to perspective. Right, that's now pretty well positioned. We also need a collision sphere. So let's create one of those. And that's going to be far too small. So I'm going to set the scale of this one to 7 and just move it up a bit. That looks good. And we also need some text to pop up to let you know when you can collect it. So let's add a text render. I'm going to call it prompt. And the text for this is going to be press E, and then I want a line break. So to get a line break in here, you have to hold your shift key and press enter. And there you go, it gives you a new line. And then I'm going to do to collect battery. There we go. And then we're going to do the alignment to center. And then we're going to move it up so that it can be seen. Okay, and then the visibility of that text by default needs to be off. So let's set visible to off. And then I'm going to show you a little trick that can come in handy sometimes. I'm going to add something called an arrow component. There it is. And what that's going to do, I'm just going to pop it there so I can see it. When I put it into my level, that will show me which way is the front, so I know which way the text's facing, which will be very helpful. So we're just going to leave that there. It doesn't render in game, it's just like a little marker to help me know that I've lined it up properly. So that's all good. That's everything that we need. So let's now set the logic up on this. So I'm just going to compile and save and go into the event graph. We'll delete these. We don't need them. And for our sphere, we're going to do our begin overlap behavior. So let's go to add event on component begin overlap. There it is. We need to check if it's our character. So let's do blip character. And we only want this to happen if the player currently needs the battery. So we need to find that out. So I'm just going to do battery. So I've come out as blip character and we need to know is need battery active. And so that's going to be our condition on a branch. And we only want the text and the ability to pick this up to happen if that's true. And if it is true, we're going to enable input. And remember to get player controller. Otherwise you'll make yourself look like a Wally. There we go. And we're going to set the visibility of the prompt to true or on. So turn that on. There we go. And then we'll set all of that to a comment, and we're going to call it begin overlap. Nice. So that's what happens when we get near the battery. And then when we walk away from it, we want to turn that off. So we're now going to get, for the sphere collision, on component end overlap. And when it ends, and again, we're going to check that it is the player that is ending the overlap. So we'll look for blip character. There it is. And all we need to do here is disable the input. Get player controller. Nice. And we're going to turn the text prompt off again as well. So set visibility. And that's going to be off. That's good. Nice. So let's drop that into a handsome little comment. Oh, I've got lost. And this is going to be called end overlap. Perfect. And then we'll just do the pickup. So this is going to be on keyboard event E. So when we press E, here's what we want to happen. We need to cast to our BP character. So cast to BP underscore blip character. There we go. And the object for this is get player pawn. Make sure you connect that, otherwise it won't work. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set has battery to true. So there we go, there's has battery. No, I didn't want that, I need to set it. So we're going to set has battery, there it is. So we'll plug that in and make it true. So when we press E, it's going to set in the player blueprint that they have the battery. We're also going to make it so that they no longer need the battery. So set need battery. And that's going to become false because they won't need it anymore. Put in a reroute node or two so I can see where that goes. And then the final thing we need to do is just destroy this actor. And that will show that it's been picked up. Let's put that into a comment. And we'll call it collect item. Very nice. Okay. So we've now got the behavior for begin overlap, end overlap, and collect item. We've got to check to make sure that this only happens when the battery is needed. So that should all be good. Let's compile and save. Okay, so that one's done. But I think while we're at it, we might as well create this for the antenna as well. Just because it's kind of a repeat of this and I don't want to put it into a different video. So what we'll do then is create another blueprint. And this one's going to be called, it's an actor. It's going to be called BP underscore antenna. Nice. Okay, let's open that one up. And we need to add some stuff. So we're going to add a skeletal mesh. Remember, this one's a skeletal mesh. And we're going to choose the radar. And we need to change it to use animation asset and change it to the one we want, but we don't want it to loop or play. You can see there it is. And the scale should be 0.2. Nice. Right, I just realized that I forgot to rename this, so let's rename it to antenna. Very nice. I'm also just going to catch something now, because I tested this earlier. The collisions aren't turned on with this being a skeletal mesh. So if we just go into the details panel and search for collisions, you can see that by default it says no collision. Let's just change that to block all, and that will mean that Blip won't run through it when he tries to pick it up. Okay, next we're going to need our sphere collision. So let's add that. So we're going to go add sphere collision. I'm going to go for the same size as I did on the battery, so that's going to be 7 for the scale, and move it up a little bit so it's kind of centered on the main part of it. And then the final thing we need is a text render. There it is. Let's just make that go up above it so we'll be able to read it. We're going to center align it. Set the text to press E, and then going to do a line break with Shift and Enter to collect antenna. Awesome. And then we need the visibility of that to be off by default. So let's turn that off. And then one final thing is going to be just to add an arrow component so that I know which way is forward. And we'll just drag that up so I can see it. Very good. So let's now compile and save. And then we'll go into the event graph and set up the logic. So just as we've done with the battery, we're going to start with getting our event. So on begin overlap is what we want. We need to check, is it with the blip character? And then we need to use that to check, do they need the antenna? So get need antenna. And that's going to become the condition for a branch. And then everything else will happen if that's true. So if it is true, we're going to enable input. There we go. Get player controller. And then we're going to turn the text render. Oh, I want to just rename that to prompt. And then we're going to turn the visibility on. Make sure that's set to true. Compile and save. Okay, so that's going to be our begin overlap. So let's put that into a comment. And then let's reverse that on the end overlap. So let's right click on our sphere collision, add event on component end. Let's check that it's our player. So we want blip character. And then we are going to disable input. Again, make sure we get player controller. Neaten that up a little bit. And then finally, we're going to get our text prompt and set the visibility to false or off if you prefer. There we go. Let's drop that into a comment. So that's going to be called end overlap. And then we just need something that's going to trigger picking it up. So that's going to be keyboard event E. When we press it, we're going to cast to blip character. And we are going to set has antenna to true. Very good. And we're also going to set need antenna to false, because he won't need it anymore, he'll have it. So we'll reroute 1 and 2. And then the final thing is destroy the actor. Okay. So let's put that into a comment. I'm going to call that collect item. Compile and save. Oh, see, I missed something. Silly goose. Get player pawn. Let's try that again. Oh, that's much better. And you can see I am just leaving all of these open because I might need to nip in and out of them. So they're all open for now. Okay, so we're going to check that both of these work. Let's put them in the level. Now these won't work straight away, and I'll show you why. You might have already guessed. So let's put a battery in there. We'll put one over there. And you can see that my forward arrow is pointing the wrong way. So let's have it pointing more towards the player. I'll just drop it there, I think. And then we'll get an antenna as well. And we'll drop that over here. There we go. So if I now press play and I run over to them, I won't be prompted to pick them up. And the reason for that is that the variant need battery or need antenna isn't true. So we've not got anything setting that to true yet. So what we can do, just to check that this works, is go to our blip character, get the blueprint open, and then we're going to find the need battery, and we're just going to make it default to true for now, and we'll do the same for need antenna. And let's just compile and save, and then let's play again. And you can now see that when that is true, we can walk over, press E, and it will collect it, and the same will be true of the antenna. Press E, and that will collect them. And we can now use that on the next part of the puzzle to be able to teleport. Okay, so we're going to just leave those in the level for now, because that will help with testing as we go further forward. But what won't help with testing is leaving these as true. That was just for that little demonstration there. So the need battery needs to be false, and the need antenna needs to be false. Let's compile and save. Okay, so where we're at now is we've created both of our pickups that we're going to need to make this teleporter work, and then we're going to set the rest of the logic up for that to happen in the teleporter in the next step. So I'll see you there for that. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. If you'd like to help me create more content like this, please consider becoming a patron on Patreon. The contributions I get through Patreon make a huge difference in keeping this channel going. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to make sure you don't miss my upcoming tutorials. Your support and engagement mean the world to me and help my channel continue to grow. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.